Okay, good morning. I hope you can all see me and hear me this morning. My sound man will pop through in a minute and give me the thumbs up if it's all working. I hope you're all well and ready for another live session of Karen's isolation yoga, as we're calling it. Um, the last 2 weeks were very much trial. The first week the sound was horrendous. Last week was second trial to see if the mic works, and certainly everyone, apart from one person, still wasn't hearing it very well. But everyone else said that the sound was good, even when I had my back to you or down facing dog. So hopefully everything's been ironed out, and we won't have to worry too much about the sound this morning, I'm hoping. Um, just one thing I was going to say, if anybody does want to do this another time, these live sessions are available if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, which apparently I have one of. Yeah, it sounds good, says my tech man. There's a button, I think, at the top somewhere. So at the end, if you wanted to subscribe, it means that if you want to anytime, you can go on to my YouTube channel and each week will be there. I know they're very similar at the moment, but it means that if you can't do it at the time, or if you want to do it more than once a week, you could always go back and revisit the class. Okay, so hopefully you're all with me now. And we will make a start on our warm up that we've been doing over the last few weeks. So we'll just first of all just take a moment just to slow down our breath and just get ready for our yoga session. So just standing nice and tall. So I want you to close your eyes, take a nice deep breath in through the nose, draw the air all the way down into the abdomen. Really nice deep breath. And as you exhale, gently release the air through the nose. And again, inhaling through the nose, draw the air down into the abdomen. So really feel the abdomen start to extend, the rib cage extend, all the way up to the collarbones if you can. So really fill the lungs as you inhale, and nice and slowly exhaling through the nose, release the air nice and slowly. And once more, still with the eyes closed if you can, inhaling through the nose, draw the air down, nice deep breath, expand the chest, and again, nice and slowly exhale, releasing the air through the nose. Okay, so opening the eyes, we're just going to do a little bit of our awareness work that we've been doing for the last 2 weeks, which is something new to the ones even that come to my class. It's not something we've done before, but it was something I thought might work quite well on the live session rather than our lying down at the beginning. So make sure your feet are hip width apart. And first of all, I want you to look down at your feet and make sure your feet are in line. So if one foot's slightly ahead of the other, bring them back into line. That helps to bring your hips into alignment as well. First of all, we're going to think about the heels. I want you to be aware of feeling the heels pressing down into the mat. Then the balls of the feet. So really feel the mat under the heels, the ball of your feet. I want you to lift your toes off the mat. And then as you're looking down on them, I want to see if you can place each toe one at a time. So put your big toes down first, then the second toe, third, fourth, finally the little toe, and try and spread them out if you can. And be aware of the mat under your feet. I don't want you to cling on to the mat, so don't cling on with your toes. Just stretch them out, widen them if you can, and just feel the mat under your feet. So that's the first thing we want to be aware of, is our feet on the mat. And when we're doing any standing posture work, we need to be aware of where our feet are. We need to be able to feel the feet on the mat so that we know we're in the correct position. Okay, then we're going to lift up through the legs. So really think about lifting all the legs. Be aware of your legs drawing up. Okay, moving on to the hips and the core area. So remember, you want to be aware of the glutes, the abs, your obliques up the side, pelvic floor lifting. So that gives you that core that provides you stability to maintain your spine. If we had none of that, we would just collapse. So it's really important we keep that nice and strong. And that's why a lot of us have back issues as we go through life, because we don't maintain that nice, strong core. Okay, and we're going to take the shoulders up, back, and down. So we're just going to loosen off the shoulders. So inhale, draw the shoulders forward and up. As you exhale, push them back and down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Just keep it nice and slow. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Again, inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back and down. I'm going to reverse the direction this time. So as you inhale, take the shoulders back and up, draw them forward and bring them down. Inhale back and up, forward and down. And again, back and up, forward and down. And once more, inhale, shoulders back, as if you're trying to push the shoulder blades together, bringing them up. As you exhale, draw them forward and down. And just lift them up the ears a few times, just let them drop, make sure they're nice and loose. Okay, so still maintaining that awareness through the feet, the legs, the core. Shoulders are now nicely loosened off. So make sure they're nicely pulled back and down. We're going to move on to the arms and the hands. So as you inhale, I want you to take the arms out to either side, palms towards me, stop halfway, and I really want you to spread the fingers, stretch the palms. So awareness through the palm of the hand, each of the fingers, along through the wrists and along the arms. On your next inhale, I want you to bring the arms above the head, and I just want you to touch the fingers together. So thumb to thumb, first finger to first finger, middle finger, ring fingers, little fingers. Just be aware of the fingers touching. Not too firmly, just nice and gently. And exhale, bring the arms back halfway down. And again, awareness through the hands and the arms. Stretch out the hands, really stretching the palms and the fingers. Exhale, lower the hands back to your side. So again, inhale halfway, stretch out the palms. As you exhale, inhale, take the arms above the head, bringing the fingers together, awareness of the fingertips. Exhale, bring the arms halfway. As you inhale, stretch out the hands. As you exhale, lower back down. And again, inhale halfway. Exhale, awareness through the hands. Inhale, above the head, touch the fingers. Exhale, bring the arms halfway back down. Inhale, awareness. Exhale, release. And once more, inhale halfway. Exhale, awareness. Inhale, fingers together. Exhale, bring them halfway back down. Inhale, awareness. And exhale, release. Okay, so we're going to move on to our sun salutes now. So moving to the front of the mat. Remember, we always do our modified positions first of all, so keeping it nice and gentle for the first round. And remember, if anybody wants to continue with the modified positions as we go through the next couple of rounds, then please do. So starting position is always Tadasana, our mountain pose. So for this one, if you can, the toes are touching, the big toes are touching, the heels are slightly apart. So remember, if you get any balance issues or you're not comfortable with that for any reason, you can take the feet hip width apart. But if you can, big toes touching, heels slightly apart. And this is where, again, you're lifting through the legs, but keeping the knees soft. Nice long spine. So the shoulders are back and down, arms by your side, and you should be gazing directly ahead. From there, as you inhale, take the arms out and up. As we exhale, we're going to fold from the hips, bend the knees and bring the chest to the thighs. Relax the head and neck, your hands are beside your feet. From there, step the right foot back, lower the knee, flatten out the foot so you're in a gentle lunge position. Take the left leg back so that you're onto all fours, and nice and slowly draw the body forward, lower to the floor. Bring the forearms on the mat, and on an inhale, lift into Sphinx pose. So remember, for a Sphinx, lifting the upper body, drawing the chest forward, pushing the shoulders back and down, and the lower body's nice and relaxed. There's no tension through the hips or the legs. From there, hips to heels, forehead to the mat. Extended child's pose. And coming back up onto all fours, step the right foot forward, back through between the hands. Follow with the left. So you're back in your forward bend. Deep bend in the knees, push up through the legs. Bring the arms above the head. And as you exhale, release. Exactly the same, but we're going to lead with the left leg this time. So from Tadasana, inhale, arms up. As you exhale, nice deep forward bend, head, hands beside the feet. Step that left foot back this time into that lunge position. Take the right leg back, you're on all fours. Nice and slowly, draw the body forward, lower to the floor. Forearms down, inhale, lifting into Sphinx pose. From there, hips to heels, forehead to the mat, extended child's pose. Lifting up onto all fours, step that left foot forward, so you're back in your lunge. Follow with the right, you're back in your forward bend. Deep bend in the knees, push up through the legs, bring the arms above the head. And as you exhale, release the arms back to your side. Okay, so that's the modified positions for our sun salutes that we normally work through. We're going to move on to full positions now if you can. But remember, think about how you're feeling this morning and do what you feel you can. If you want to use the modified positions, then that's absolutely fine. So again, from Tadasana. Inhale, take the arms out and up. This time, if you can, look up and really arch back so you're lengthening the spine. You've got a nice long neck. From there, folding forward from the hips. Nice straight back, straight legs if you can, and then swan dive into the forward bend. Hands come beside the feet, relax the head and neck. Step that right foot back again, lower the knee, flatten the foot. But this time in the lunge, push forward with the hips. You're starting to get stretch along the leg through the hips. Tuck the right toes under, take a plank position. So remember, you want that nice straight line with the upper body. From there, take the knees, chin and chest towards the mat, draw the body forward. If you can, this time coming into Cobra. If you prefer Sphinx, keep the forearms on the mat. Either way, shoulders are back and down, lower body's nice and relaxed. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. You're creating an inverted V shape with the body down facing dog. You should be looking towards the toes, pushing the hips up towards the ceiling. From there, step the right foot forward, lower the left knee, flatten the foot, lift the arms, and look up. Bring the palms together, lower the hands in front of the chest, draw the body forward from the hips and take the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. So you're coming into spinal rotation. Release the hands, step the left foot forward, you're back in your forward bend. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing, looking up, and exhale, release. Okay, leading with the left leg. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine if you can. Exhale into the forward bend. Left leg back this time, into the lunge, push through with the hips. Tuck the toes, take a plank, and then take the knees, chin and chest towards the mat, draw the body forward, coming either into Cobra or Sphinx. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, down facing dog. Step the left foot forward, so you're back into your lunge. Lift the arms, look up. Palms together, lowering. Draw the body forward, take the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Release the hands, step the right foot forward. Back into forward bend. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing, looking up. And exhale, release. So we're going to do another round if you can. Remember, if at any point you feel you've done enough of something, you just stand into that Tadasana and work with the breath. Otherwise, inhale, take the arms out and up. Exhale into the forward bend. Right leg back into the lunge, push through with the hips. Tuck the toes, take a plank, and then knees, chin and chest towards the mat, draw the body forward, coming either into Cobra or Sphinx. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, down facing dog. Step the right foot forward, back into the lunge. Lift the arms, look up. Palms together, lowering. Draw the body forward, left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Release the hands, step the left foot forward. So you're back in your forward bend. Inhale, coming all the way up, looking up. Lengthen the spine if you can. Exhale, release. Leading with the left leg. Inhale, look up. Exhale into the forward bend. This time, step the left foot back into the lunge. Push through with the hips. Tuck the toes, take a plank. Knees, chin and chest towards the mat. Draw the body forward, either into Cobra or Sphinx. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, down facing dog. Step the left foot forward, back into the lunge. Lift the arms, look up. Palms together, lowering. Draw the body forward, right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Release the hands, step the right foot forward. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing, looking up. And exhale, release. Okay, she's starting to feel warmed up now. The muscles have started moving. Joints are warming. And we're going to move on to working with our balance. So we've been working with different variations of tree pose. We're going to stick with that for the next 2 weeks. Just it's quite an easy one to do online because you can see me because we're upright, some of the balances that you're moving forward or to the side are not so easy. Okay, so we'll warm up together and then we'll move to a stage where you're doing whichever version of tree pose you prefer. So remember, for balances, if you struggle with your balance, you can go and stand beside a wall. You can have a chair, any bit of furniture beside you. Just put your fingertips gently on it just to give yourself a little bit more confidence, a little bit of support. Okay, so first of all, we're going to bring the palms together. Press them nice and firmly, and that creates some stability in the upper body. You're engaging these core muscles, coming up onto the toes. Well, wait a minute. First of all, think about taking the weight down into your standing foot, not letting the hip fall out. Keep the hip nice and upright. Come up onto the toes of the other foot and just bring the heel against the standing leg. So that's the first position we're going to come into. And for some of you, just staying in this position, just lifting and lowering the foot a few times, just getting a feel for your balance. Remember, if you need to have your hand on a chair, then you don't worry about the hands together. You just have your fingertips touching a chair or a wall. For those of you who are comfortable standing on one leg, I just want you to see if you can just slide the foot up onto the calf. Don't come any further than the calf. And think about really turning the knee out to the side. Bring the hands, palms together. Remember, another thing for your balance, pick a focal point, something that's not going to move, and keep the gaze centered. So really keep the gaze focused, engage the core muscles, press the palms together, and keep turning that knee out. We're just going to hold and breathe. Remember, at any time if you need to take the foot back to the floor, you just do. Otherwise, we're going to hold and breathe. Nice and slowly slide the foot back to the floor. We're going to move to the opposite side. So letting the weight come down into the other standing leg, coming up onto the toes, the other leg. Again, first position, if you're struggling with balance, is just staying here and just lifting the toes off the mat, not worrying about going any further. For those of you who can, slide the foot up onto the calf. This is where you can really work on turning that leg out, so opening up the hip. You probably find it easier on one side than the other. Certainly this side, can't open my hip as far, but I'm aware of that. Just have to adjust to take account of it. And again, we're going to hold and breathe if you can. Keep your gaze focused. Engage those core muscles. And sliding the foot back to the mat. Warm in here today. It's a lovely day again. Yes, Matt, over there, please. Okay, so we're going to move on, and if you can, we'll go one stage further this time. But remember, if one of those stages we've already got to is what suits you this morning, then you just stay with that. So again, palms together, weight coming down into that first standing leg, coming up onto the toes of the other foot, and slide the foot up onto the calf if that's the leg position you're going for. Again, you might just want to stay here. For those of you who are confident with your balance, you can now take the arms above the head. So you're working on turning that knee out, lengthening the arms above the head, nice long body, and again, just holding and breathing. Bring the palms back down in front of the chest, slide the foot back to the mat. We're going to go to the next side. So weight coming down into the standing leg, come up onto the toes of the other. Remember, stay in that position if that suits. If you have to slide the foot up onto the calf and start turning that knee out, then do that. Again, remain here if this is what suits this morning. Otherwise, arms above the head, holding and breathing. Again, nice and slowly, bring the hands back down, front of the chest, slide the foot back to the floor. Okay, so that's giving you 3 different options already. So the one with the toes on the mat, foot on the calf, hands either on a chair in front of the chest or above the head. For most of you, you'll be picking one of those versions for the next round when we're going to hold it a little bit longer. For those of you who have been coming for a long time and are more confident with your balance, if you can, I want you to see if you can bring the foot all the way up onto the thigh. So bring the foot up onto the thigh. And for some of you who are just starting this, you can just hold the foot in that position and work on really getting used to having your left foot that high and working out how it feels for you. If you want to release the hand, remember you've got to press the foot into the thigh, press the thigh into the foot. You can then release the hands. You can have them in front of the chest, or you can take them above the head. So just picking your position, holding and breathing, coming out this time when you need to. We're all doing different versions. The more difficult version you're doing, you might find you can't hold it for as long, but it's good to practice these things. Holding and breathing. Just continuing on that side for a bit longer if you feel you can, if you're maybe doing a position that you're more used to. Just continue holding for a few more breaths, and I'll tell you when we're all going to be finished. So just hold and breathe if that suits you this morning. And if you haven't already come out of the balance on that side, then thinking about coming out now. And we're going to move to the opposite side. So if you can, try and do the same balance you did on one side and the other. It's not always easy because certainly on this side, I don't really have a problem with getting my leg all the way up and letting go. On this side, not so good, but I'm working on it. And that's what yoga's about. It's just a little bit of a journey, seeing what you can do. And each week, just seeing if you can do a little bit more. Okay, so again, weight coming down into the standing foot. Decide on your leg position with the other foot, whether you're keeping the heel just against the leg, whether you're bringing it onto the calf or you're bringing it all the way up onto the thigh. Remember, the one place you do not want to have your foot is against your knee. So you don't want to push against that joint. So once you've got the legs in position, you can decide on the hand position, either on the chair, in front of the chest, or above the head. The thing I will say as well, if you're putting the foot all the way up onto the thigh, your choice of leg wear can be very important. These yoga pants that I've got on today are very good. They don't feel sticky, but my foot seems to stay, sorry, I'm talking too much, stay up. Whereas in some of my other ones, I find it really difficult to keep the leg. So something to think about, something you can try in your own time. It's just working out if your clothing makes a difference to what you can do in this position. Okay, and releasing the foot back to the floor. So balance is very much something that improves the more you do it. And it's something you can easily do through the day, whether you're standing doing dishes, you can just stand on one foot and brushing your teeth. Lots of different things you can do through the day just for a few minutes here and there. Work with the balance. You'll find it really does improve the more often you do it. I wish I did it a little bit more often, but you've just got to try and remember occasionally, oh, I could do a little bit of balance work now. Okay, so we're going to move on to our standing posture. We've been working with Virabhadrasana 2, our warrior pose 2, which we're going to do again today, but we're going to bring in extended warrior pose 2 as well, which those of you who come to class know we've been working on before we had to stop for Corona. Okay, so stepping the feet apart. So remember, you can adjust the width of your feet as we go through. So don't worry if you're not sure at this point exactly how wide you want to take your feet. Just go along with it. And then we're going to turn our foot to face in this direction. You're probably mirroring me, so I'm going to the right, so you might be going to the left. As long as we're all going, you all do it one way and then the other way, that's absolutely fine. So remember, the first thing we're going to think about is our foot position. So we want to be able to feel the mat under our feet, so that's our awareness that we were working on. If you were to draw a heel from a line from the heel of the front foot, it will come to the instep of the back foot. So just make sure your feet are in position first of all. Your shoulders and your hips are staying towards me, so we're not rotating the body in the direction of the toes. You're staying with me, the hips and shoulders. And then we're just going to bend and straighten that leg a few times. So remember, what you want to think about now is the direction of the knee. So you want the knee to be going towards that second toe, so directly in line with where the foot's pointing. You don't want it coming across towards me. Try and keep it pushing away and out. The other thing you want to think about is the knee stops when it gets to the ankle. So if you're going past the ankle, you want to widen your stance a little bit. If you're not getting to the ankle, you need to shorten your stance a little bit so that the knee stops there. As we're warming up, you might find that the muscles start to warm and stretch. You might be able to go a little bit deeper into the pose, and we can do that once we start to hold. But just warming up, first of all, just bending and straightening the knee, making sure you've got a feel for where your feet are. Remember the back foot, don't forget about the back foot, and don't let it roll onto the instep. Keep pushing into the outside edge of that back foot. So again, awareness of your feet and where your feet are on the mat. Okay, so turn toes back towards me. We're going to go to the opposite side, so turning the toes in this direction this time. And again, you can have the hands on the hips, just bending and straightening a few times. So my knee wants to go a little bit further, so I'm just going to wiggle my foot out a little bit so that I can still stop when I come to my ankle. Okay, so again, just coming in and out, thinking about the foot position, the knee position, the direction of the knee is very important as well, and try and keep the upper body nice and upright. So you're not taking the body at an angle with the knee, you're keeping the body upright. Okay, so stacking hips, spine, all the way up to the neck, vertical, okay? Coming in and out, stretching those legs. I don't really like you having that. You have that. He has choked in one of those before, so just checking. It's all right. Okay, so coming back to the first side. Getting the foot position first of all. Hands on the hips to begin with. When you're ready, bend the knee. Watch the knee position. Watch it stopping when it comes to the ankle. Make sure that outside edge of the back foot is nice and firmly on the mat. Okay, and we're going to hold in this position this time. So really pushing down into the mat nice and firmly through both feet. When you're ready, I want you to stretch the arms out to either side. So really think about opening up the chest, take the shoulders back and down, broaden the arms. We're going to gaze along the middle finger of the hand going towards your bent leg. So I don't know which way you're going, so just bear with me. So you're looking in the direction of the toes that are pointing to the side. And we're going to hold and breathe for a few breaths. So really get a feel. Make sure the shoulders aren't coming up to the ears. Push them back and down. Open the chest. Open up the heart and keep the arms nice and long. So just have a little look back. Try not let this back arm drop down. Keep it nice and upright. Gazing, breathing. Inhale, bring the hands above the head, toes towards me. So we're going to go to the opposite side. So as you exhale, turn the toes in the opposite direction. If you need to look down, check the foot position. When you're ready, bend that knee again. Make sure the knee's above the ankle. Make sure you're pushing into the mat with the outside edge of the back foot. Broaden the arms, so really open up the chest. Open up the heart, gaze along the middle finger. Inhale, toes towards me, arms above the head. As you exhale, we're going to fold forward from the hips into a wide leg forward bend. So really draw the body forward from the hips first of all, and then relax the upper body down towards the mat, coming into a wide leg forward bend. So just release any tension through the back and relax down. And then just bend the knees slightly, push up through the legs so that you can come back up to stand. Okay, so we're going to go to the first side again, so turning the toes in this direction. When you're ready, bend the knees, so coming back in to our Virabhadrasana 2 stance. I'm going to widen the arms and gaze along the middle fingers. Again, we're going to hold and breathe for a few breaths, and then we're going to move from here into extended warrior pose 2. Holding and breathing first of all. So the thing to think about as we start to move, when I tell you to, is that the lower body doesn't move at all. So that position from the hips down remains exactly the same. Try not to be drawn up and start to straighten out the knee. Keep that knee bent and above the ankle. So on an inhale, what we're going to do is we're going to seesaw the arms. So as your back hand comes down, the front hand comes up, you continue to gaze along that middle finger, bring it nice and high. So you're looking up towards the ceiling. You're really stretching through this side of the body. Try and keep this side long, so don't just collapse back. Lengthen and arch back, and hold and breathe. Then again, we're going to seesaw the arms back up, so keep them nice and level, coming back to Virabhadrasana 2. Again, the legs haven't moved at all. We're remaining in the same position from the hips down. And then inhale, bring the arms above the head, toes towards me. We're going to move to the opposite side. Let's turn the foot in this direction. When you're ready, bend the knee, widen the arms, open up the chest. Awareness of the feet. Make sure that back outside edge of the back foot is on the mat. Arms. So as the back hand comes down to rest on the leg, front hand goes up towards the ceiling, and you lengthen through the spine. So don't just drop back, really lengthen and arch back if you can. And bringing the arms back to center, so back into Virabhadrasana 2, gazing along that middle finger the whole time. Inhale, bring the arms above the head. And as you exhale, we're going to fold forward from the hips into that wide leg forward bend. Relax the upper body down towards the mat. And again, bend the knees, push up through the legs, coming back up to standing. So if you feel you can, we're going to run through that routine once more. Remember, if you feel you've done enough, just come back to standing Tadasana. Work with the breath for a few breaths till we all come back to the same position. But if you can, turn the foot, no, we'll go back to the first side. In this direction, first of all, remember that line through the mat. When you're ready, bend the knee. Press down nice and firmly into the mat with both feet. Widen the arms, gaze along the middle finger. Holding and breathing. On an inhale, seesaw the arms, lengthen the spine, looking up towards the ceiling. Pull the arms back to center, again holding in Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, bring the arms above the head, toes towards me. We're going to move to the other side. Turn the toes, bend the knee, widen the arms. Awareness of the feet, the leg position, the knees, opening the chest, long arms, shoulders back and down. On an inhale, seesawing the arms, looking along that middle finger, lengthening through the spine. Seesawing the arms back to center, holding if you can. Inhale, bring the arms above the head. Exhale, wide-legged forward bend. Bend in the knees, push up through the legs, coming back up to standing. Walk the legs together. Give the legs and the arms a little bit of shake if they need it. Get a little drink of water if you need one. Okay, I put 2 mats out so that, because Matt likes a yoga mat, so he likes to lie on one, so I always move to the other one, and now he's decided he's going to have a bit of both. So we're just going to have to move you a little bit. Pop. There you go. Good boy. You're fine. You're on your mat. Good boy. Okay, so the next work we've been doing is on the mat. I'll just roughly explain it before we go down, just in case anybody's not been watching before. We will run through the first version altogether to begin with, and that might be the version some of you want to stay with, depending on how you're feeling this morning. And then as we move into the second round, you'll have the choice of staying with what we did the first round or moving into the second round. So remember, we're starting with the cat and cow postures. We're using the extended leg and the half cat. We're also going to do a little bit of plank work and moving into Sphinx or Cobra today. So we're taking it that little bit further this morning. So we'll do that first, and then we'll talk about the alternative after we've done that. So you want to come down onto the mat onto all fours. Just remember, tabletop type position. Hands are below the shoulders, knees are below the hips. Okay, so for cow pose, remember, as you inhale, you're lifting the head and the tailbone up, and you're arching the spine down towards the mat. As you exhale, you're tucking under, tailbone and head, arching the spine towards the ceiling. So that's cat pose. Inhale back into cow. And exhale back into cat. So then if you would prefer not to bring the extended leg in, then that's absolutely fine. You just work with cat and cow postures. For those of you who are happy doing that little bit more with the extended leg, what you want to think about doing is, as you come up into cow, I want you to lift that right leg and really extend it up. So no flexion through the ankle. Extend the ankle and the toes into cow. And then as you move into cat, you're going to bring that knee all the way forward, as close to that right elbow as you can, as you tuck the head and tailbone under it and arch the spine towards the ceiling. On the inhale, I'm going to move back into three-legged cow. And as you exhale, bring the knee back to the mat. I'm going to move to the opposite side. So inhale into cow with that left leg extended this time if you can. As you exhale into cat, head and tailbone under, left knee comes as close to that left elbow as you can. Inhale, push the leg all the way back. And exhale, bring the knee to the mat. So that's what we've been doing with this little sequence for the last couple of weeks. We're just going to take it one step further this time. So if you're working with cat and cow postures, what you want to do at this point is you just want to walk the hands forward slightly. So instead of being in this table position, walk the hands forward, lowering the hips slightly, so you're stretching, taking the hips down towards the mat and creating a straight line down through the body to the knees. So it's a half plank position. And when you're in this position, we're going to hold for a few breaths. So engage the glutes and the abs, really draw them in, so you're creating that nice straight line. And from there, on an exhale, we're just going to lower ourselves nice and slowly if you can, and all in one movement. So try not to just drop the hips down. Take it all as one, down to the floor. Take the forearms onto the mat. And on an inhale, lift the upper body coming into Sphinx pose. So remember for Sphinx, you're sort of drawing the chest forward, you're pushing the shoulders back and down, and there's no tension through the hips and the legs. Sphinx pose. And from there, take the hips to the heels, forehead to the mat, extended child's pose. And then just coming back up to sitting. So that's the first version of our floor routine that we're going to be working on. And for those of you who have been joining the class over the last couple of weeks, you'll have a good idea if that's the version you want to do. So remember, it's cat and cow. You can bring in the extended leg if you want. You don't have to. From there, this week, we're going to move into a half plank, lowering to the floor, into Sphinx, and then child's pose. So basically, the people who are doing the next version using down facing dog and flying cat will be doing exactly the same. It's just the cat and cow, or the cat and cow, or the dog and cat. It's going to be different. So I'm getting really confused here. Anyway, okay. So if you want to do the more advanced sequence, coming up onto all fours. This time you're going to tuck the toes under, you're going to lift the hips and move into down facing dog. So remember, for down facing dog, you tuck the toes, lift the hips, take the shoulders away from the wrists, push those hips up towards the ceiling. At the same time, you're pushing the heels towards the mat, but don't worry too much about that. The idea is you want more pushing up towards the ceiling with the hips and taking the shoulders away from the wrists. You should be looking towards your toes. So we're just going to hold and breathe for a few moments. If you're doing the cat and cow postures, at the moment you are in cow, and you're going to hold and breathe. So from there, we're going to lift the right foot up if you can, really extend the leg, and remember, extend the ankle as well. And then on the exhale, we're going to move into flying cat. So for that, you want to bring the shoulders forward so they're above the wrists, the knees coming towards that right elbow, but you're really arching up and tucking the head under. So it's not just as if you're bringing the knee forward in a plank position. You're actually arching up, coming up onto the toes of the back foot, head's tucked under. Inhale, push all the way back, take the leg up towards the ceiling. And exhale, bring the foot to the mat. Moving on to the other side if you can. Extend the leg up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, moving into flying cat. So really try and arch up, tuck the head under, elbow to knee, or knee to elbow. Inhale, push all the way back. Exhale, bring the foot to the floor. So if you're in the cow, if you're in cow now and cat, you want to walk your hands slightly forward. If you're in down facing dog, bring the shoulders forward, and you might find that you're just about in the correct plank position anyway. If not, adjust the hands slightly. So remember, don't want your hips pushing up towards the ceiling. You don't want them sagging towards the floor either. Draw in the glutes and the abs and maintain that nice plank position. And then we're going to move to the floor. So to do this, you can either take the knees to the mat and lower yourself down, unless you can lower the body all in one go, all the way to the mat. So you're on your front on the mat. So again, options are moving into Sphinx pose, or if you prefer, or you want to lengthen a little bit more, work with the lower back, bring the hands beside the chest. Inhale, lift the upper body coming into cobra. So remember, for cobra, keep the lower body nice and relaxed. You're not lifting the hips off the floor, so the hips should be in contact with the floor. You're lengthening the spine, pushing the shoulders back and down. And from there, hips to heels, forehead to the mat. Okay, so coming back up. So that's the two different versions. So we're going to do at least one more round, possibly 2 rounds of this. So you could choose to do the different versions for each round, or you might want to stay with one of the versions for both rounds. Okay, coming up onto all fours. Decide whether you're doing cat and cow or down facing dog and flying cat. If you're doing down facing dog, tuck the toes, lift the hips. So we're into down facing dog or cow pose. Okay, so on an inhale, if you're comfortable lifting the leg, lift the right leg up. Exhale, moving into flying cat or half cat if you're doing the cow postures. Inhale, pushing all the way back. Exhale, bring the foot to the mat. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale into your flying cat position. Inhale, push all the way back. Exhale, foot to the floor. Inhale, lift the right foot. Exhale, flying cat. Inhale, push all the way back. Exhale to the mat. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale into the flying cat. Inhale, push all the way back. Exhale, foot to the floor. Bring the shoulders forward, moving into either full or half plank. Hold. And then lower yourself to the floor, either taking the knees down first or take the whole body down in one go. Inhale, cobra or sphinx. From there, hips to heels, forehead to the mat, and just have a little breather. And coming back up onto all fours. So if you feel you can, we're going to do another round of that. If you feel you've already done enough, just lie in your front, have a little breather for a few moments. Okay, for those of you who are comfortable continuing, tuck the toes, lift the hips, down facing dog. Inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, flying cat. Inhale, push all the way back. Exhale, foot to the mat. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale into flying cat. Inhale, push all the way back. Exhale, foot to the mat. Moving back to the right side. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, flying cat. Inhale, push all the way back. Exhale, foot to the mat. Inhale, lift the left. Exhale, flying cat. Inhale, push all the way back. Exhale, foot to the mat. Moving into plank, holding. Nice and slowly, lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra or sphinx. Exhale, hips to heels, forehead to the mat. And just have a little breather. We'll stay in extended child's pose for a few breaths. And just coming back up. Just going to grab a little drink. And we're going to come to sitting on the mat. So if you like to have a block, then getting a block now. If you can, sitting cross-legged, get the knees full the way to either side. Remember, if that's not comfortable, you can always have the legs straight out in front, just whatever's comfortable for you this morning. We've been working quite hard in the wrists and the elbows. We're just going to release any tension through the wrists, just rotating the hands nice and slowly at the wrists, just releasing any tension, going both clockwise and anti-clockwise. And we'll just do a few stretches just to finish off, and we'll end the class with a little bit of pranayama. And we might try a very short relaxation just to see how it goes. We've not done one yet on our live sessions. I'm not sure how you'll feel about lying with your eyes closed on the mat for very long, because I've got a feeling you'll keep opening your eyes to see what I'm doing. So we'll see how it goes. And again, that would be something that you could give me some feedback on. Okay, so inhale, take the arms up above the head. So as we exhale, we're going to fold forward from the hips. Try never to fold from the waist. You always want to draw the body forward from the hips. So hands up, draw the body forward, walk the hands out in front of you, and just lower the body as close to the floor as you can, and then hold and breathe. Nice and slowly walk the hands back, take them around behind the hips. And as you inhale, I want you to lift the chest towards the ceiling, push the shoulders back and down and look up. So you're getting a really nice stretch across the chest and you're relaxing those shoulders back and down. So really push them back and down and just release the tension. And coming back to sitting. So if you are sitting cross-legged, I want you to move the legs so that the opposite leg is leading in the cross-leg position, just so that we try and open up the hips nice and evenly. Inhale, again, arms above the head. And as you exhale, again, walking the hands forward, draw the body forward from the hips, lowering as close to the floor as you can. Nice and slowly, walking the hands back. Again, take the hands round behind the hips, opening the chest up towards the ceiling. If you're comfortable this time, you can lift the hips as well, so you're coming up onto the knees. So you're getting a stretch through the whole of the front of the body. And release the hips back to the floor. Take the legs straight out in front if they're not already there. Inhale, lift the arms above the head. And as you exhale again, fold forward from the hips, just coming in to forward bend along the legs. Breathing, releasing, and relaxing. And inhale, coming back up to sitting. And again, if you can, bringing the legs into a cross-leg position. So remember, when you're sitting, always make sure you're on the sitting bones. You've got that nice long spine, as if you're being drawn up to the ceiling by the crown of the head, and the shoulders are always relaxed back and down. So we're going to do a little bit of pranayama, a little bit of breath work. We've been working with single nostril breathing, mainly because you all know it quite well. We're going to stay with that this morning. So bringing the hands into the mudra position, so thumb and first finger pressing nice and firmly together, stretch the other hands out, and then just bring them down to rest on the legs, the knees, wherever's comfortable. I want you to gently close your eyes. So you're going to be concentrating on the breath. And I just want you to imagine you're drawing the air in through the right nostril. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. And release through the left nostril. 2, 3, 4. Inhale through the left. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. And release through the right nostril. 2, 3, 4. Inhaling through the right. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. And release through the left. 2, 3, 4. Inhale through the left. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. And release through the right. 2, 3. And just releasing the breath. So as I said, we're going to try just a short version of our relaxation technique just to see how it works this morning. So if you want to get into your relaxation position, so lying on your back on the mat, Shavasana, relaxation position. Feet roughly hip width apart, and then let the feet fall away to either side. Nice long spine, and then just let the back relax down onto the mat. Have your arms slightly out from the body, palms facing up, and just let the fingers naturally curl. And just gently close the eyes. First of all, just take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, just see if you can release a little bit more. Just let all the tension in the body go. So just relaxing completely down onto the mat. We're just going to You're just going to mentally repeat along with me 3 times the areas of the body we want to relax. It's an auto-suggestion technique, and by repeating 3 times, the brain's more likely to take it in and the body's more likely to respond. Just with the eyes closed, just mentally repeating along with me. My feet and my legs are relaxed. My feet and my legs are really I completely relax. My feet and my legs, my hips, my lower back and my abdomen are relaxed. My hips, my lower back and my abdomen are relaxed. I completely relax. My hips, my lower back and my abdomen, my middle and upper back and chest are relaxed. My middle and upper back and chest are relaxed. I completely relax. My middle and upper back and chest. My hands and my arms are relaxed. My hands and my arms are relaxed. I completely relax. My hands and my arms, my shoulders, my neck and my head are relaxed. My shoulders, my neck and my head are relaxed. I completely relax. My shoulders, my neck, and as you exhale, just think about moving fingers and the toes very gently. Next inhale, take the arms above the head and a nice gentle stretch through the body. As you exhale, draw the knees into the chest, wrapping the arms round, eyes up and out in your hug pose. And then just nice and slowly coming back up to sitting. So hopefully you are now all sitting. Obviously I can't see, but hopefully you are. Just bring the palms together. Namaste. So thank you for joining the third session of Karen's Isolation Yoga, and I hope you enjoyed the class. Again, just let me know, little message, text, WhatsApp, email, just let me know if you've taken part for sure. So whether that works or not, it's quite good to know because it'll depend whether I put it in again next. So hope to see you all next week. There will be another live show unless anything happens that stops me from doing it, but hopefully not. So I will send you the link next Wednesday morning. I probably won't bother emailing you on the Tuesday, since you all know now that unless I let you know there's not going to be a class, I'm going to try and do one most Wednesdays. Okay, thank you very much.